All right, everybody. Ho hum. Cale Makar wins another Norris to add to his collection of awards and what this means for his eventual new contract in a couple of years. Let's talk about that on a new episode of Locked on Avalanche.
You're Locked on Avalanche, your daily podcast on the Colorado Avalanche. Part of the Locked on Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Locked on Avalanche podcast, part of the Locked on Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chris Maselli. With me, as always, Mr. Shaggy Von Doom, Kyle Sullivan. Thank you for tuning in and making this your first listen of the day. Always appreciate it. If you want to get in on the conversation, then join our Subtext. Link is in the show notes below. Chat with Kyle and I one-on-one. Get your opinion, everything Avalanche related, and share it on this very podcast. We will get to our Subtext crew in a little bit here when we do talk about the new contract that Cale Makar could sign next offseason when they are able to sign an extension for him because he's going into his final year after this year. What it could look like. And where we're going to start, Kyle, is with this Norris Trophy that he won, because does this impact it at all? We'll get to that in a minute. Or does it not matter? Like, could Cale Makar not win anything for this past year and next year? And he's still the best defenseman in the league, in our opinion. And, you know, his number is going to be massive anyway against the cap. But we'll get to that. But like I said, let's start with the trophy and winning the Norris. Again, his second time. What's the stat? Well, not stats, but the saying here is he's the 14th defenseman to win the Norris multiple times and just the 6th player to win it at least twice in his first 6 years. So you can just you just add it to the mantle. It's just another thing that he's accomplished in a still very young career. It's scary what this guy could do by the end of it.
You know, I think we're at the point of not just saying Cale Makar is the greatest in the league. He's a generational talent. I think with this second Norris and many more to come, if everything stays at this trajectory, I think it's easy to say that Cale Makar, we are looking at a Hall of Famer, like a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
And we need to start treating him with that reverence instead of just treating him like a generational, like fluke, like a anomaly in like the game of hockey. Like, he is a bona fide Hall of Famer, and we are witnessing greatness at the position at a very, very young age. Like, this isn't like your Bedard, and hoping something happens. This man's got the hardware. He plays the position like nobody in the league has. And we get to watch it night in, night out. And we get to make grades where we're like, Cale didn't have his best night. But when you go look at his resume and everything he's accomplished so far, and he's still in his mid-20s, we have a long way to go.
I was going to get to the Hall of Fame thing in a second, but you brought it up. So it's one of those things where you ask the question, could he retire today?
Yeah.
And then just go into the Hall of Fame? The overall numbers clearly wouldn't be there. But where he is at this stage in his career compared to other defenders is right at the top. He's got the Stanley Cup. He's got 2 Norrises now. He's got the Calder. He's got the Conn Smythe. He has a career's worth of hardware in just a short amount of time. So it'd be weird. That'd be like like you always go to like for football, like Gale Sayers, like that he didn't play. His tenure was not long, but it was amazing. And yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame. You could say that for Cale Makar right now, as ridiculous as it is. Like, if he just like, what else can I do in this sport except for just win more of what I already have? So it is. I mean, if he retires today, he's a Hall of Famer. It's crazy to say that, but he is.
It is crazy to say that when you look in the context of sports, but when Erik Karlsson and Jumbo Joe Thornton were dancing around looking for another deal, the word future Hall of Famer were being thrown around for those guys as well. And you look at the numbers, they played a long time. But when you're putting like Cale Makar, like even if he takes a step down, even with the hardware he's already collected and the numbers he's putting up, he's on track. So when we're going to get to the deal in a minute, but you've got to start putting that nomenclature on Cale Makar. This is a future Hall of Famer. and it's hard to say no. But wait, but he hasn't. No, he has, and with ease. And he doesn't have a documentary yet.
Yeah. Let's not. I don't want a document unless it's I said I don't want a Gabe Landeskog like documentary because that means he's coming back from a 3-year injury. Let's not do that. Maybe a documentary on just like the greatness of him when he gets into his mid-30s. That'd be nice. Getting back to this Norris, NHL's trying something different with how they're announcing these awards, and it's kind of like they're springing it on people where they're not expecting it. And it's kind of like a surprise to them. And for Cale, he was golfing with his brother and with friends, and then he was at his parents' house, and here comes a whole entourage with the trophy, and that's how they kind of announced it, which was kind of cool. Like it's fun to see these videos. Real quick, they're still having an award show in some capacity. I think this weekend is when it is. I don't know, but it's different. It's neat. It's a quick viral thing, which is what they're going for. And it's going to be one of those things that other leagues will copy and then take credit for doing it. So I don't know. I thought it was cool. Thought it was cute and fun.
Yeah, like the NFL has tried to do this when it comes to announcing, like you are going to the Hall of Fame and you have these nice little ceremony moments. Mm-hmm. So the NHL to apply that to the awards, I think is cool. Yeah. I really appreciated this, and it makes the NHL different. And you like the viral tone that you had, like this is what the NHL needs, honestly, dude. Like absolutely. To share this to be like, oh, that's cool. I like how hockey's doing this. I think it's a cool thing to do, and it's a lot better than whatever comedian they had last year announcing. And
what was his name? Something Friend was his last name.
Yeah,
he's a funny guy. It's just award shows are terrible. Like,
and especially with the hockey crowd, you're not going to get laughs.
You're not getting laughs.
So doing it this way, like celebrating amongst your peers, family, friends, it's a much better moment. And again, you're making your stars personable. Like you can relate and you get to see their life off the ice. So keep doing this, NHL.
It's just like more natural. It's like they're in their more natural habitat. They'd rather be on the golf course or in the locker room. They don't want to be at an award show. Like the Kucherov one. I don't know if you watch the Kucherov one or not. I'm forgetting the Ted Lindsay. Like I was watching it and I was expecting him to be like Angry Cat. No emotion. Like, I don't care. Dude had a smile on his face. And I was like, that's not Kucherov, because he was like clean shaven and smiling. Like that is an AI version of Kucherov. That's not him. But it was different. Like, so you got him in his normal like habitat and he was enjoying the moment, which was nice to see, especially from a guy like him. The voting. So obviously Makar finished first. Zach Werenski finished second. Quinn Hughes finished third. We knew that was the top three. It was really a runaway, man. Like the first place votes for Makar, he had 176 first place votes. Werenski had 13. That is just that is ridiculous. So for Cale, second place votes he had 13, and third place votes he had 2. So that's 1,861 points to Werenski's 1,266. So that's almost 600 points more than he had over. So this was just a runaway blowout, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Cale had as many second place votes as the second place guy had first place votes.
Yes, they had the same. Cale had 13, where Werenski had 13 for first. And then Cale had as many third place votes, 2, as Quinn Hughes had first place votes, 2. So thank you to those Vancouver writers who put Quinn Hughes at first for their ballots. And
that is a clean mathematical vote. I like this.
It did not take long to CSI that and figure that out. But want to give some credit to Devon Taves here, who is 15th on this list. He had a 4th and a 5th place vote. So good for him, which I think is a drop from last year. I think he was in like 7th or 8th last year. But that's a runaway. That is as runaway as you can get. One last question, and then we'll get to the contract thing. He's got 2. Just how many could he get? I know it's very difficult to answer because you don't know with defense. it's a position that teams are, they've always put a lot of stock into it, but I want to say it's changing. It's changed. And you have a lot of really good young and up and coming defenders who could challenge him for an award, every season, but you feel like he's going to be in the mix year after year. How many of those could he win? The overall record, it's one of the most incredible records is Bobby Orr's 8, which he won in consecutive years. That is ridiculous in and of itself. And in his rookie year, he finished 3rd. So, but he won the Calder that year, so he just substituted that. And then after that, 8 in a row for Bobby Orr was just nuts. Is this one of those things that it's like, majors in golf that nobody's gonna touch that, and maybe Cale could start socking some away, and it's going to be in the later years of his career if he can get a couple more to overcome Orr. But 8 is a tall order.
I think honestly, when it comes to Cale Makar, it realistically, I could say confidently, I would bet my left toe on him getting maybe 2 more, possibly 3, because Cale Makar and Bobby Orr didn't grow up in the social media age, and Cale Makar's his skill might be his downfall when it comes to the Norris, because now you're hearing players when they're coming in the league, even down the AHL, these rookies talking about, I'm looking up to Cale Makar. I'm looking like modeling their game after Cale Makar. So everybody is now trying to be Cale Makar or be better than Cale Makar instead of be the better defenseman. And if you are being better than Cale Makar, you will probably hit the gate winning a Norris. And that's how it's the ones that Cale Makar inspires will be the one taking it away from Cale. Yeah. Until that happens, he's going to get the Bobby Orr treatment.
Yeah, I mean, you've like you're saying, you're feeling pretty confident that he can get a few more here. It's just, the NHL is just a grinding sport and a grinding league and a grinding season. And, how can the body hold up for that long is the question. So, yeah, I'd be pretty confident saying like overall he can get 4 or 5 of them. And, if he is lucky enough to have a career where he doesn't have these major injuries, knock on wood. Yeah, I mean, but he's going to be battling really good defenders in this league. Really good defenders to get them year after year. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm pretty confident. Like, he's still young. He's got a long way to go. Will he get more? I think you can almost guarantee that he will. 8, I don't know. That's
8's too much.
That is a lot. So, all right, let's get our first break in here, and then all of this that we're talking about. Does this have any impact on this eventual contract extension that will come Cale Makar's way? Not this offseason, but in a couple of years. He's got 2 more years left on his current deal. So after this season, they can extend him. You can almost guarantee that they will. What will that contract look like? We'll do that next. First, let's hear from Wonderful Pistachios. And if you're looking for a snack that is both delicious and nutritious, crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. It's one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller for longer. We say this all the time. They have the 2 varieties, no shells, which is my jam, and the shells. Kyle likes to put in more work to get his pistachios. So,
I mean, it's a good source of protein. So, I mean, I have the energy to get through those shells.
Yeah, it's just too much work for me. At this stage of my life, I just want things simple. So
I'm a blue collar guy.
No shells. And what's the flavor of your choice for you?
Jalapeno lime.
Oof, I don't know if I can handle that one. Honey roasted's my jam. So get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com right now to learn more. What is so funny too?
You're just like, oosh. Uh-huh. Jalapeno lime.
No,
not for my blood.
No, I am not the less spicy, the better for me. No. All right. What's going to look very spicy? There's a segue. Is the next Cale Makar contract, and they, like I said, they can start negotiating this next off season when he has 1 more year left on that deal. Where did that deal go? That deal just came and went like
no
snap of the fingers. It felt like. So, I wanted to preface this by like, does this Norris Trophy do it? Like, even if he wins it next year too, does that add any more value to a contract for Cale Makar when we already know the value he brings? So I don't think him winning these things changes the dynamic of how much money he is going to bring in. Maybe it's a negotiating tactic for his agent. But I don't think the Avalanche are going there saying like, well, no, that doesn't really mean as much as we don't think it means as much as you do. So we're not. I think everybody's on the same page here. Everybody knows the generational talent that he is. A deal will get done. Very confident of that, because if they don't, then you screwed up the whole Mikko Rantanen thing. This is why you're going to be able to give him an ungodly amount of money. What do you think it looks like? Well, answer the first question first. Of like, does this change anything in terms of the value of what that contract would be?
Yes and no, because I'm going to follow that up. Because your second question was going to be, what's it look like?
Yeah.
Am I correct? Well, yes and no. Yes, this adds value, but I mean, Avalanche fans, we know what's up. We know the skinny.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, let's all Google Nathan MacKinnon's contract. What is it? 12.6. Cale Makar, you're getting 12.6. That's your internal cap.
But all right. So here's the thing. It's not about what Nathan MacKinnon is making. And I know a lot of people think that it is, because it's more about the percentage of the cap. And with the cap going up, he's going to make more than Nathan MacKinnon is. This is like the Connor McDavid contract, which was number one in the league for longer than it should have been because of COVID. But what happened when we came out of COVID and the cap went up incrementally, and now it's gone up even more? He has been surpassed multiple times now, and that is going to continue to happen. So I know that's league wide. The rest of the league doesn't care what, Connor McDavid is making for their own teams, and saying like, well, Austin Matthews, you play for us, the Toronto Maple Leafs, we're not going higher than Connor McDavid. It doesn't work that way. All I'm saying is when the cap goes up, salary goes up, and it's not about the number. It's about the percentage. And for Nathan MacKinnon, his 12.6 is like 15% of the cap. The most a player can make is 20% of the cap. They cannot make more than that. So Connor McDavid's contract, they can start negotiating that this year. He's isn't he up for extension for this year? Because I think this next season is his last season on that deal. Yeah. So they can start negotiating that with him now. So the cap is going to go up for next year to, I believe it's 104 and a half or 103 and a half. If Connor McDavid wants to make the maximum and make that 20%, he could be at $20 million a year. If he's greedy and says, yep, I want that full 20%, he could be 20, I think a little bit over 20%. I don't think, and then, so the following year, it goes up even more. I think it's going, let me see, I had it up here. It's going up to 130, should be going up to 113.5 the year Cale Makar is a free agent. I don't think Cale Makar is going to say, I want 20%. I think Cale Makar, how you're saying, the dollar amount, the 12.6, I think Cale Makar is looking at the 15% and saying, give me the 15%, which is going to be $16 million. That is where Cale Makar is going to be, people. Maybe he takes a little bit of a discount because I don't feel like he's a greedy guy. Look at his current contract. It's a nice, even $9 million. So I think he's going to be 8 years is in the bag. That is a 8-year deal all year long. And he's going to be around the 15%. So I'll just say a nice 8-year, $15 million AAV for Cale Makar. Easy.
I don't think so. I honestly, I feel like he's going to take up because by this deal is going to be 2027, 28. Mm-hmm. The passing of the torch between Landeskog and the new leader, whoever that will be, we'll have that conversation then. But I feel like Cale's going to come to the table and say 8 years, 12.6, take that in extra cap and build me a team. The
he
depth
could. It wouldn't surprise me if he
Yeah.
did, because like I said, I don't feel like he's a greedy guy.
Because when it comes to value, when it comes to value, he could find 15, 20 million for any other team in the league. I don't feel like Cale Makar is going to be that guy who says, let me cash out, because you could take 12.6, do team friendly, say, hey, Nate's doing 12.6, I'm doing 12.6. We're going to use that extra cap and finally get me some depth, because I won a cup in 2022. It is 2027. I want a cup again. And you're going to put a team together with that money. You're going to get whoever is going to be on the wing. Cale Makar is going to handle this. I feel like it's going to be one of those, like how Gabe and Nate and Mikko used to play with their contracts and all kind of keep it kind of even. I feel like he's the next generation of that face. And I feel like he's going to not go over Nate, because honestly, he doesn't need it. He's going to be making that money elsewhere. Endorsements, and he keep getting these Norris trophies. He's going to be on the cover of everything. He's going to have DVD instructional tapes. Like, he's going to be that guy. But I don't see him saying, yeah, give me 14, give me 15. I feel like he's going to take that and say, build me a team around me. 12.6 is good enough for me and my family.
I could see that happening with him specifically, because like I said, like the 9 million, when he signed that, I think people were a little bit surprised, because that was a little bit low, even though he hadn't, accomplished what he has obviously accomplished during that contract. But we kind of knew like what he was, what he could be. He has turned into that. And when he signed that, I thought people thought, like, hey, that is maybe, that is team friendly for a guy of his talent. I think for this contract, I always go to that. Like, this is the one where guys make their most money. It's your first unrestricted free agent contract. This is the big one. And I think he looks at that as like, so I will do the 8 years for a good amount of money. And then after that, then we'll start doing discounts and things like that. But maybe I'm saying 15. And again, it goes to what the cap is going to be at that point in time. It also could be the Avalanche going to him and saying, like, we are offering you 15 because we know, like, this is what you deserve and this is what we can afford. And, everybody is on the same level. I can't imagine him saying, like, okay, well, then give me less. I don't think he would say that. I mean, he's human. If they're offering him 15, sure. I think that's where I'm at. That is what I'm saying is 8 years, 15. I think he goes as low as 13. I don't think he matches. I don't think it's about this matching Nathan MacKinnon and all, and whatever that is about. But I don't feel like that's important to him. I don't think Nathan MacKinnon cares. I think Nathan MacKinnon understands what Cale Makar brings. So he's going to surpass MacKinnon. It could be by $500,000. It could be by $2 or $3 million. But that's where I'm going with it. Yep.
Okay. I don't. Cale's not your typical hockey player, and I feel like he's going to do this for the betterment of the team. He knows his worth, and I think he's going to continue to get it. And even the 12.6 matching Nate is going to be a 3.6 upgrade. Once you're dancing around the millions, an extra million or two is not changing your life. Once you already have millions in the bank, you've already made, I think, 50 to this point. I think he's already made, with his contracts, he's already made 50. So
12 points.
Well,
that $1 million doesn't mean anything.
But it's going to be one of those where he's going to say, hey, we're doing this together. I want a team around me. If I'm going to be here for 8 years, I want to have the money for 8 years. So that's just how I feel, because that's the kind of guy Cale Makar is.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me to go that route either. It would not. So let's get a final break in here. I do have some predictions here from our Subtext crew on what this contract could look like. And then we had a question this one's from Vargar about favorite players of the past and present. We'll do that next. All right. Over on Subtext, threw it out there. What do you think this contract looks like, this extension for Cale Makar? Coy says 8 by 12.5. I don't think the internal cap, which is MacKinnon's contract, doesn't apply. I think they will be around the same. Christina says 5 years, $12 to $13 million a year. It takes them to 31. They can reevaluate then. And if they want to extend and adjust numbers again, adding term could also help keep the AAV lower if they wanted to go that route. No way he makes less than Carlson or Dahlin and Drew Doughty, though. I don't think this is a 5-year deal. This is your first unrestricted free agent contract. This is the greatest defenseman in the league, and will be known as one of the greatest defensemen in the league. You lock him up as long as you can. So I think this is an 8-year deal. She could be right in the 12 to 13 million. But I don't think it's 5 years. I'd be shocked if it was 5 years.
I could see 5 to 8 just to do it again and climb it up. See how that success went. Like, hey, I took a discount. Give me 5 at the end of this. If we're not getting cups, give me what I'm due.
I don't know if, Cale seems to be the guy that's, we're talking about like loyalty and stuff like that. I think, who knows if he's going to have kids by then. And I think he's loyal to the team that drafted him and wants to stay here for a long time. I don't think
it's to go out there and shop for teams. I think it's just playing with that contract value.
She brings up the team friendly thing too. So she thinks that could be a thing. Who we got here? We got this is Madam Battleaxe. I'm not sure how this will all work, but I know they will mortgage Ball Arena before they let him go.
Yeah,
there's gonna be an Air Force One thing where they need what movie could they leverage?
Air Force 1 2.
Yeah, maybe what's the it's Grand Theft Auto. They're gonna go into mortgage Grand Theft Auto.
Sure,
I have nothing to do with that. Mark says 10 years, 12 million a year. Joe says I bet he matches Nate. He could ask for and get 15 though. So that's both of our takes in one subtext post right there from Joe. Kay says 8 years at 13 million. They'll keep him close to Mac, but I guess it would go up to 14 with the cap going up. Yeah. Could be in that range, definitely. And Brandon, I like Brandon. 7 years, 14.3. I don't know where he got to 0.3, but I like it. And it's going to be, again, 8 years. I'd be shocked if it's anything less. I would be gobsmacked if it's anything less than shooketh if it's anything less than 8.
I'm glad the citizens of Subtext are of the same mind of him taking that team friendly, like sticking close to Nate.
I mean, just because he's done it once, just don't expect it to happen again. That's all.
He's not a greedy guy. Like, he doesn't care about that clout. No, and like, he's going to take that 12.6 and he's going to make a team, and then he's going to get probably the captaincy along with that deal.
Could happen too. Yep. All right, let's wrap this thing up. We had a question for Vargar that I wanted to throw out here. Real simple question. Who are your 3 favorite players now? And who were your 3 favorite players growing up? And he says, I'm going to make a guess here that I throw in Shane Gostisbehere and that you throw in Nazem Kadri for our current 3 players.
Well, congratulations. You got that right.
Yeah. So we'll start there then. And I went outside of Avs world. So give me 3 favorite players that you root for right now
that are not current Avalanche players. And I did this for the past as well. There is one Avalanche player in the past, because I would not be here if it wasn't for this player. But currently, laugh all you want. Trevor Zegras.
It's all right.
I love his attitude and demeanor. I think it's incredible.
I think it's great for the league.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yep.
Nas, of course, and Jack Hughes.
I do like Jack Hughes a lot.
He
has the demeanor too. Like, Zegras is the very cocky, but he's funny in a way. And Jack Hughes, I mean, he has that confident. I don't think Jack Hughes is cocky. I think Jack Hughes is confident. Jack Hughes has a good mentality too. I like him a lot.
Trevor Zegras would be somebody from Jay and Silent Bob, like a background character on that. And Jack Hughes would be somebody from Letterkenny.
I think he's too. He's not dry enough for Letterkenny. Shorzy, maybe. I could see Jack Hughes on Shorzy.
He could be Shorzy. He's got that like vibe. Like he's very deadpan on a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I like him. I do like him. Yeah. For me, like current players, yes, Shane Gostisbehere all day. I am a big Mika Zibanejad fan.
Okay.
I like him a lot. He tailed off a little bit this last year, but because I like what he does on the ice and off the ice, he seems like a pretty fun guy too. He's like a DJ in the off season.
Can't go wrong there.
That's great. So he's a fun guy. And then maybe this is like a little bit sacrilegious being in a division, but Clayton Keller.
Interesting.
Awesome player. So underrated. And if he played anywhere else outside of Utah, he would be a much bigger household name. But really like Clayton Keller. Yeah. And his teammate Matthias Michelli, because that's how you say my last name in Italian. So I got to go with Michelli as well. So,
bonus. Okay, nothing wrong there.
And players from the past, again, I went outside of Avalanche circles. I don't know what you got for your 3 in the past.
I do have. I know I tried, but honestly, I would not be here if it wasn't for Peter Forsberg. He was the first hockey player I ever remember watching, and like I'm here because of that. Mm-hmm. And then he was my gateway into Jaromir Jagr. Okay, my all-time favorite hockey player. Jaromir Jagr, all day, every day. And then honestly, because of my fandom for for Jagr, I became a big fan of Super Mario Lemieux.
Yeah. I didn't put Forsberg on here, although he would be. And I didn't put Gretzky on there, although he would be, because Gretzky, the age I was in, like the late 80s and through the 90s, if you followed hockey, like it was Gretzky. Like there's no doubt about it. So yes, I was a big Gretzky fan, but I didn't put him on here because that's just too easy. For me, I was a big Pavel Bure fan.
Oh, yeah.
Loved, that was speed, and just watching guys skate fast was awesome to me. So Pavel Bure. I really liked Curtis Joseph.
I almost had Cujo on my list.
Loved him. And then because I watched a lot of Ranger games, Brian Leetch. Big Brian Leetch fan. Whenever I played NHL 94, that was the guy I controlled.
Yep.
Brian Leetch.
That's around there. Brian Leetch was great.
And then as just like a bonus, because he's on the same team or was on the same team, obviously Henrik Lundqvist, because Hank's awesome.
My honorable mention would have been Paul Kariya.
Yeah. Yep.
Love Paul Kariya.
What a time.
Yeah.
What a time. Just great players to follow and just, designate as like favorite players, which I don't do anymore. But back then, I had a list of them. Loved it.
Yeah. Jagr is every time I play the NHL games, my created guy has Jagr's hair.
Yeah.
Like all-time guy. All-time.
Which like the
curly mullet?
The curly mullet. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
It's the best.
Love it. So throw them out there for anybody in subtext land or even on the YouTube chat. Favorites from the past, favorite now. Try to go outside of Avalanche circles. Expand the horizons a little bit.
It'll be all right.
Yeah, safe space. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today, everybody. So thank you for tuning in and making this your first listen of the day. We'll be back tomorrow with anything new in Avalanche Nation. He is Mr. Shaggy Von Doom, Kyle Sullivan. I am Chris Maselli. This is the Locked On Avalanche podcast. We'll see you guys tomorrow, where you have made it through another 24 hours where Sidney Crosby is that much closer to being with the Colorado Avalanche. He wasn't on either of our lists.
Not my favorite Penguin.